this limit's 4.1, right?
Yep.
Okay. This is up at 505. And let's see where else that is at. This is at roughly 3. This is at like 2. And that's at 3.5. Okay, that's basically the graph they gave us. Now, there's, just so you know, there's two things that come up sometimes. You have the limit does not exist. So we write DNE. And then sometimes, and it depends upon the class you're in, sometimes they interchange DNE as undefined. So just be aware, like, if something is undefined, for as far as this class, as far as Calc 1, Calc 2, and Calc 3 goes, DNE works just fine. The undefined term becomes like a much later thing. So I'm just sharing you with that so you feel okay. So let's see what we do. And we talked about yesterday, so this one is limit as x approaches 0 from the negative side. So as x approaches 0, it's coming from this side. So the limit for this one's going to be 5. Okay? And then if I do the limit as x approaches 0 from the positive side, that's coming this way, and it happens to go to the exact same point. So that means because both of those arrows, whether I came from the left or to the right, if your limit does not have a directional, it means it's got to come from both sides. Being they both went to the exact same number, that means it's 5. They wind up to two different numbers or two different locations, depending upon which side you went on, means it would not exist, which I just said could be the term undefined, but it's not really. And then they say, hey, what's h at 3? We have h at 0, and we have h at -2. Okay. So h at 3 is right here. So in the 3, what you're going to do is you're going to take kind of a vertical line. You don't go through that point. You go right through that point because it's an open circle. So you go to the one that's a closed circle. So at h at 3, we're at 5. That's what's taking place in the y direction. When we go to h at 0, so here's 0 right here. So you take this on up. This happens to be, h at 0 happens to be the same thing as the limit. And that can happen from time to time. And then h at -2 is this right here. So h at -2, the y component is at 0. Any questions so far about any of that? Oh my gosh. I had one of those fun dips last period. I wanted a little sugar, and it's still sitting in the back of my throat. Don't worry, I'll be all right. All right, limit as x approaches 3 from the negative. Limit as x approaches 3 from the positive. And then the limit of 3x to 3 both ways. All right. So this one we got to be cautious with. I'm going to do some fancier colors. I think they're fancy. You guys might think they're lame. All right. This means I'm coming from the negative. So if I'm coming from the negative, I'm coming straight down this line to get to right here. So this is our y value of 2. Fancier colors. Let's do dark purple. I like that. All right. If I go to this one, limit as I come from the positive side means I'm coming up this right here. And notice that gets to 5 as the y direction. Okay, so if I came from the left to 3 and I came from the right to 3, did I get to the exact same y value? No. So this is a does not exist. Okay, it went to two different locations. My friends, do you have any questions about that? All right. On 4.1 from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, are there any of those on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if you have your book out, that we could look at, that we could make sure that you feel comfortable with?
7.
7? Give me the word problem. Dude, I'm kidding. All right, number 7. They give us this equation that's basically this, where X is the total number of units sold. So all we can do on this one is if we want the limit as X approaches 100, so what you're going to do is you plug 100 here, 100 here, so you're going to get 16 times 100 minus 100 quantity squared, and then just do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 1, 2, 3, 4. So it comes out to, that should be our answer, 150,000. So that's a direct plug-in. You do not have to really even graph it. If you graphed it, you'd see it comes to 150 as well. Anything else? 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? Any of those? I realize you can't see your 2 as well because it's kind of faded away. All right, so I think you have enough. I think you have enough to make sure. I will check 4.1 for completion tomorrow. And if you happen to have that done, that's great. But then also, would you try for the limits warm-up? Do number 1, A through H. See if you can determine that. If you have anything that you have questions on that we went over, or if you need to hand anything in because you looked at the grade book and you saw something was missing, this will be a good time to do it. And I think we are out of here. We are fourth period at 12:38. Cool.